Hi, I'm Daniel and welcome to this week's episode. Now, this show normally only promotes gluten-free beer and wine, but we're breaking that rule for this one. Supersoul's odd and delightfully themed game Speakeasy is coming to PS4, though as is so often the case, a simple vague soon was given as a time frame. Speakeasy is a 1920s themed fighter featuring celebrities and well-known faces of the time, such as Amelia Earhart and Charlie Chaplin. Players are pitted against each other in 3 10-second rounds where a punch, block or fake can be used once per fight. The game is a very interesting way of framing the classic rock, paper, scissors in a whimsical and yet relatively historically accurate way, except for the whole Amelia Earhart and Charlie Chaplin having a slap fight in a bar thing. Ben Strauss, the game's producer, says, Speakeasy is an incredibly simple to learn but difficult to master game that will require you to match wits with your opponent, who happens to be standing right next to you. Though we have no release date, the game sounds like a lot of fun and an interesting take on a classic with a few twists to keep it fresh, and who doesn't love a spot of fisticuffs? No need to go on a quest to fix the internet or your PS4. Another update for the PS4 has released in the UK and will be rolling out across the world, which is said to fix the system software's stability while using certain features, games and apps. This is the second stability update after the last fixed a bug in the PS4's rest mode, causing some users to be unable to coax their PS4 back to life. The patch 2.02 weighs in at around 200 megabytes, so it's a pretty big one. It adds stability to a few games that were crashing, and even adds a fix for the soon-to-be-released Dragon Age Inquisition, which was reported to be crashing after the update 2.00. Though we haven't got official patch notes at the time of writing, keep your eyes on the PlayStation blog and their Twitter account where the patch was first announced for more details. You thought the console wars were over, but they rage ever on. The wait is over. You can finally get your hands on Assassin's Creed Unity, but there's a little snafu for PS4 owners. Digital Foundry, a games benchmarking and games tech testing arm of Eurogamer, did some bench tests on the Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game and were surprised to find it running better on the Xbox One. During crowded and rooftop scenes, the Xbox One version was shown to have a 5 FPS advantage over the PS4, not an inconsiderable amount. Ubisoft has said that the game is tied to the CPU due to the number of NPCs and AIs, but some aren't satisfied with this explanation alone, claiming Ubisoft may have simply spent less time on optimizing the PS4 version, or that Sony's compilers just aren't as good or as easy as Microsoft's. Cutscenes win out on the PS4, which has a more powerful GPU, and so this makes some sense, but many are left wondering why this is the case. It's possible patches and updates will help a little later on, but PS4 owners can't help that little bit of a sour taste in their mouth. It's like opening a theme park and telling people they can't come. The online portion of Halo Master Chief Collection has had some issues of its own lately. Many players are reporting long wait times for matchups, achievements not unlocking properly, and more. Unhappy players have taken to Halo's official forums to voice their displeasure, and they have been heard. Executive producer for 343 Industries, Dan Ayub, left a message on the official site for players, stating, "Since the launch of Halo the Master Chief Collection, we've received several well-deserved complaints related to slow matchmaking and other issues. From everyone at 343 Industries, we are truly sorry and feel your frustration. You deserve better, and we are working day and night to find solutions as quickly as possible, with our first priority focused on matchmaking improvements." The servers have already been updated to aid quicker matchmaking, but the developers report this may occasionally result in uneven teams at the moment. But more updates and fixes are planned for the coming weekend, and since they're server-side, they should take effect as soon as they're live, meaning no downloads. 343 is working hard to bring players the experience they expected and more, and we're sure many Halo fans will be happy and excited to see the game running well. In an interview with The Telegraph, Shigeru Miyamoto was handed the stick of truth and spoke of frustration with the sameness in the games industry. The creator of the Mario and Zelda franchises began working for Nintendo when it was primarily a toy and card company under Hiroshi Yamauchi, and carries the late Nintendo boss's ideas and thoughts with him. Miyamoto has previously quoted Yamauchi on the subject of the sameness in the industry, explaining that it is his belief that in the entertainment industry there is often a few companies innovating with the rest creating similar products, and that the games industry is no different in his opinion. Miyamoto told The Telegraph, "What the other companies are doing makes business sense, but it's boring. The same games appear on every system. At Nintendo, we want an environment where game creators can collaborate and think of ideas for games that could have never happened before." So, what is Miyamoto thinking? Does he have some ideas himself, or is he trying to secure Nintendo's creative future? It's nice to hear those at the top of the industry pushing for creativity and innovation in design. Miyamoto believes games are in a difficult period of growth, but tells us of some of his design philosophies. He believes that in films, the director is both a designer and creator, but in games, the player should be the director. It is the designer's job to create the tools necessary for the player to direct their experience. Miyamoto thinks the industry is focusing too much on creating filmic experiences and is forgetting the player as a director. Perhaps we can all learn something about design from someone who has created some of the best-loved franchises, and perhaps the future of games will be a lot more free once the medium has truly found its voice. That's all for this week's news. Tell us of your Halo woes. What's been keeping you from playing and what have you loved about it so far? Are you looking forward as much as I am to the 1920s fisticuffs? And is your PS4 back to working condition now? Let us know by clicking the unicorn, subscribing and commenting. If you missed our last episode, you can see it here. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. See you next time.